In Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you can play fast or you can play slow. North American teams often win matches off the back of unpredictable and savage entries, whereas Astralis has racked up 4 major titles with precise, measured aggression. If you're from the CIS region, however, you play slow, really slow. And just like teams from North America can throw away a round by pretending that map control isn't a concept, CIS teams can sometimes forget that in Counter-Strike, the clock is always ticking. Hey guys, Nick here from Win.gg. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at Natus Vincere versus Virtus.pro. We're going to break down why Navi lost. And we're going to break down why VP won, because they're actually 2 different things. We're going to take a look at 2 rounds, 1 from each map, Inferno and Train. And despite Simple's performance, Navi still lost this map. And despite VP's not so great performance at times, they won, okay? So I really want to know why that is. So we're going to take a look at it, 1 round from each side. We're going to look at a couple different perspectives, kind of break it down. So Simple dropped 30 kills on this map, okay? He had a solid 2.0 KD with only 15 deaths. Simple is not the reason why they lost Inferno. VP, on the other hand, much more spread out kill statistics, right? Adren was really the only one who was lagging behind a little bit. But if you look at Navi, like Simple, sure, he has an extra 15 kills to his name. But that 15 kills does not make up for the underperformance of Electronic, Perfecto, and Flamey. So Flamey, you can't go 10 and 19 with a .53. That's not going to work. And that's definitely not going to work against VP. If you give these teams the openings, they'll take them. And I think that's what we forget as fans a lot. We're like, oh, that team's bad. There's no way they're going to beat Navi. The thing is, even if you're outside the top 30, given enough opportunities, you're going to take advantage of them. And that's exactly what VP did here. VP played Navi's game better than Navi. So we're going to hop into round 5 and we're going to watch a few different perspectives now. First thing we want to showcase is the mid take, okay? So the mid take by Jame and Adren is solid. Jame is watching arch side, okay? Adren peeks balcony. He sees Perfecto there, and that tells him one thing. There's more than one player on A. Why is that? Because Perfecto will not sit a site alone. Navi does not trust him enough to do so just yet. He's still a fairly new player in the system. And the fact that Adren tags him, sees a lot of blood, which is CSGO's indicator that that player's not wearing armor, okay? It's the visual cue. Along with the fact that the nade fragged him, tells Adren 2 things. 1, they are most certainly on eco. And 2, they are probably stacking A. Now, Navi doesn't stack sites all that often because Simple is 2 men in and of himself, so any site he's at automatically has a +1 to personnel, you know what I mean? So, regardless, they know that A probably has more people than B, just because of Perfecto's presence. Next, Adren falls back. Sanji and Jame dump utility top A. This is important. It's meant to keep any and all players that are on A currently still on A in order to facilitate a quick execute on B. As we're gonna see though, it's not very quick, and that's what kills VP here. Now, Jame has a smoke in his hand in 51 seconds. If they throw this execute right now when it's supposed to be thrown, they take the site. Unless Flamey gets a monstrous 4K with a deagle, which is unlikely given the way he had been playing. Or Boomage gets 5 kills with a 12 bullet CZ. They take the site, they get the plant, and they have enough time to solidify against Simple and Electronics retake, if there is one. That doesn't happen. Jame gets spooked, ditches the nade, pulls out his up, and then walks back lower mid. And he has Adren come with him. And in a display of, I don't know what, honestly, you see Adren make a critical error that he's lucky there's no one there to capitalize on. First of all, Jame is scoped in, peeking, T-spawn. Keep in mind, while Jame is doing that, Simple is rotating, because all that utility dump top A, it's gone now. And Simple says, might as well stick 4 on a site, stack it, why not? They already killed one here, they might just come B. He's right. So anyway, James is scoped in T-spawn, terrified of the flank. And while he's scoped in T-spawn, looking one way, Adren is over here looking the other way, fully wide peeking top mid. If there is a simple with a deagle top mid, Adren's dead. And then they've officially turned a 3v4, they've officially turned a 5v4 into a 4v4. And there's a gun down bottom mid, and you're all stuck in banana. Also bad. Luckily for Adren, there's no one there. By the time they come back, they've wasted 20 seconds, which is insane. And like we already said, Simple has already rotated CT 15 seconds ago. So VP is about to run into a 4v5, and even though they have the better utility, weapons, and they don't have the better execute, as we'll see in a second, but the better utility and better weapons, they're going to lose this fight purely off time alone. VP doesn't get onto the site until there's 15 seconds left, and that's for a number of reasons. Everyone is scared, first of all, because they haven't cleared site yet. If you listen for the flashbangs here, you'll hear one right after the other. That's useless, because if flashes are flashing, you're probably not peeking. There's not enough time in between those flashbangs to allow Flamey to be like, well, I better look, see if anybody's there now. They all come so fast that they are all effectively useless. Regardless, by 15 seconds, everyone is just making their way onto site, and they're making their way onto site panicked because none of them are looking at CT. They're also concerned about clearing site. No member of VP turns around to watch the boost, which Simple, having heard 3 players run past, tells Electronic to boost him then. He gets up, he gets the 1 kill, making everybody turn around. Face him, he falls off with minimal damage. Flamey then starts firing. He's immediately traded. Flamey gets no kills, but that's fine because you have Boomage peeking out with a CZ, getting one of his own. Electronic body deegs Sanji, and then hits a crisp headshot, and now somehow a 5 versus 4, where VP had the rotational advantage, the gun advantage, and the utility advantage, has turned into a 2 versus 1 in Navi's favor, where all James has is an AWP and a P250. Now, at 6 seconds left with everyone dead, James has 2 options. 3, but 2 technically. 1, he can run, save the AWP, get no money for the next round. Bad choice, really, right? Because what can happen then? He gets chased down. Maybe he doesn't pull off the AWP clutch, or at least the AWP survive clutch, and he loses the AWP, drops it to Navi. Bad, right? 2, he turns around, he books it back across, and he dumps the AWP outside of the map. That's probably the smartest move, but nobody's thinking that far ahead, especially in a situation with 6 seconds left. Finally, James looking to win the round, and this is the ultimate option that he takes. He has 2 players left. He needs to kill both of them within 6 seconds, and if he doesn't kill one of them within 2 seconds, the other one's long gone. He's hiding, and James will never get to him before the time ends. So that is why James seemingly just runs across CT and kills Electronic. Because if he can kill Electronic, at least he has a chance against Simple, but not when Simple's just standing there, waiting for James to cross, because Simple knows that that's what James has to do. So VP gets outplayed here, not by Navi, but by themselves. And that's a tough pill to swallow, but that is also how slow CIS teams tend to lose rounds. It's not anything their opponent does. It's what they do and what they fail to do by kind of finding themselves unable to make a decision, if that makes sense. So the important thing to notice here on Train is that Navi looks much more practiced at running down the clock than VP does, and it doesn't matter. So those are the 2 things we kind of want to look at here. So we're going to go right into the post plan. It's a 4v4. Navi is in just a simple wedge, right? And this wedge works as a defensive position if the front dies first, okay? 1, 2, and then your back line. And that's simple. And simple is 2 men. We've talked about this already. So when Electronic dies first from this quick thinking boost from Quicker, so whether or not this is a planned retake boost or not, this is a great play. It's even more so if it's planned, because this is a risky play. Normally this boost is held by the man in Electronic's position, and it's not being held by Electronic, so either VP know that, or they took a big risk here. Either way, it's a great boost and it plays off, because now Navi's wedge is weak on one side, and it's not even a wedge anymore. So once Electronic dies, Adren hits a nuts shot on Simple. It's not nuts per se, but you don't really expect to see Simple lose this fight. But you can see Navi's rattled. With the death of Electronic, Simple now is worried about more than just ladder. Okay. And when he swings out, he's not entirely ready for Adren to be there. Here, VP's aggression in boosting Quicker, sending him onto site, and then having Adren swing wide on ladder, because they know Simple's there. Okay. That aggression nullifies any hold that Navi has here. And I know you have to be aggressive on a retake, right? That's the whole point. You are aggressing into territory that you don't have control of. But this is a very targeted aggression, and they targeted it at just the right point to make everyone on Natus Vincere uncomfortable. So once Adren swings and takes out Simple, Fluence is the next to fall in hell. And for some reason, because it's good VP play, that's the reason. But for some reason, the man who was supposed to die first at the front of the wedge, Perfecto, is the last left alive. So VP has retaken on a 4v4 and just steamrolled Navi. If you go back at the beginning, when these 4 players are about to retake site, if you look at a top down, you go, I don't know about this. This is unlikely to work. But because of Quickert's aggression in Z, VP is able to retake the site by targeting a very specific area of Navi. And Navi wins this by being less passive than they are here in the post plant, because they have several seconds after the bomb goes down to reposition or aggress or throw a flash or do pretty much anything besides sit there. And sitting there is another hallmark of a CIS post plant. It's as aggressive and talented as the region's players are, and this is historically, they have a very interesting habit of not using it. And that makes sense. Nobody wants to throw the round away by pushing Z, right? But there are times where that aggression can save them rounds. So not only do CIS teams overall take a very long time to get on site, and again, that's not a bad thing, that is simply the way it is. Just like North American teams are often quick, savage execute teams, right? Or if they execute anything at all, sometimes they're just running out onto site. It's just the way it is. But it's important to be able to see and recognize that, because once we do that, we can take that style and work it into other styles and create something new. And that's kind of how you build in Counter-Strike, and that's how you've seen Astralis win 4 majors, right? They are at times brutally aggressive, and at other times they are slow and methodical. And when you can mix different parts into one another and create something new, that's when Counter-Strike and its strategies really evolve.